If you are a newly licensed agent, or if you've been in the business previously and are looking to restart your career, the alternatives to get started or restarted boil down to three choices. Two of those choices have been around forever, but one of them is new and really different, maybe in a good way. Stay tuned to hear the details, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of each of these three choices. Hi, I'm Mike Regan. I've been in real estate for 18 years. I was a top producing agent defined as selling at least $10 million annually for many years. Then I became the founder and CEO of Relevate Real Estate, headquartered here in the Raleigh area of North Carolina. 90% of this video assumes you like selling and you want to build your real estate sales business to maximize your take-home income. But many people who get their license, very understandably, do not want to sell. And since that might be you, I'm going to take a quick time out to give those of you who don't want to sell two ways to do real estate without selling. Choice A is to be a licensed assistant or transaction coordinator working for a busy agent or team. This role is normally non-commissioned and you get paid for every hour you work, and it sometimes includes bonuses. People who are really good at these roles are in high demand. At Relevate Real Estate, we have an expanded version of this role called a client service manager. We're always hiring great people for this role, and if you're interested, you can learn more by clicking on the link in the description below. Choice B, if you don't have a goal to own your own business, is to be a new construction on-site agent. This role is really customer service, not so much sales, because the buyers come to you. Normally, this role is paid based on commission. If the neighborhood is hot, you can do great. But if the market is slow or your neighborhood is out of the way, the earning potential might not be great. Okay, so those were two alternatives for real estate agents who are not excited about sales. We're going to shift gears now to the meat of this video, which is aimed at agents who want to build their own business and grow their take-home income as much as possible. For these agents, there are three choices to get started. I'll briefly introduce each of those three choices, and then we'll evaluate each of those choices according to 6 important business criteria. Choice number 1 is to be a buyer's agent, working on the team of a top agent, or for a brokerage that provides you with leads, the names and contact information of people who are thinking of buying a home. The main advantage of this arrangement is that you immediately have potential clients to talk to. The disadvantage is that oftentimes the leads are not great, so you'll spend much of your time chasing or serving clients that won't close, and you won't keep a lot of the commission. Furthermore, the clients usually belong to the team leader or the firm, so you can't leave and keep these clients as the foundation of your own business. Choice number 2 is to be an individual agent at a traditional brokerage. Now, there are 3 types of traditional brokerages. There are big national brand name firms like Century 21, Berkshire Hathaway, and regional firms like Long & Foster or Howard Hanna, all of which will cost a good amount of your commission to work for. Most of these brand name firms are shrinking now, and their agents are moving to low-cost, mostly virtual national brokerages like eXp, Fathom, and Real. Finally, there are smaller local versions of each of these, often referred to as boutique brokerages, and they're structured the same way as the bigger firms. The main advantage of all these traditional brokerages is that the agents are treated in a very hands-off way. You'll have complete flexibility to do your business any way you want to. The main disadvantage is that you'll have to figure out how to grow and manage your business on your own. There's not much training or support beyond the basics of how to fill out the standard contract forms and not get in legal trouble while serving clients. Choice number 3 is to join a firm that has designed a complete business system, a proven way to grow your real estate business, including continuing marketing and client service support. This approach is not offered by any of the traditional brokerages. The only firm I know about that offers this is our firm, Relevate Real Estate. So as we dig into the details of these 3 choices, I promise to be as unbiased and objective as possible because my only goal is to help you find the right fit for you. So especially when it comes to the Relevate approach, I'll be sure to give you all the disadvantages as well as the advantages. So let's dig into each of these 3 choices for agents who want to build their own business in detail based on 6 key factors. Training for how to do real estate, training for how to get clients to do real estate with, the cultural and team environment of each of these choices, continuing marketing support, continuing client service support, and finally, how fast and how big you can expect to grow your business and your take-home income. Wherever you go, the first step is getting trained in how to actually do real estate. In other words, how to legally help all those clients you'll be working with. As a buyer's agent, you'll normally get really great training for how to help buyers because the leads you'll be given are potential buyers. In most teams, all the seller leads belong to the team leader. but the training for working with buyers will be really good. At the brand name traditional brokerages, the real estate training will mostly be about how to fill out the agency and offer forms, and how to not get the brokerage in legal trouble. When it comes to the rest of client service, like showing homes or negotiating a due diligence repair request, usually you'll need to learn on your own or pay a mentor to help you. When you run into issues during a transaction, the broker in charge will definitely help you, but be prepared to wait in line because at these big firms, there's usually over 100 agents per broker in charge. The low-cost traditional brokerages like EXP and Fathom are not designed to support or train newer agents. They're really better for agents who already have experience and who want the lowest cost place to hang their license. The traditional boutique brokerages are usually very similar to the franchise and low-cost brokerages, but sometimes you can find a brokerage owned by a really great agent who will take you under their wing and teach you everything about real estate. That's amazing if you can find it, and definitely the best real estate transaction training among the traditional brokerages. At Relevate, the training for how to do real estate is good and thorough for both buyer and seller transactions, but there's a reason Relevate can invest so much in training newer agents. That's because we only accept the highest potential new agents, and there are annual production standards. 2 million the first year, 5 million the second, and 10 million plus after that. And so when agents produce like that, Relevate gets paid back for providing the more in-depth training. Next, you will need training for how to actually get clients so you have clients to work with. Being able to get and then convert buyer and seller leads is what makes or breaks every real estate agent. Every agent can learn the basics of how to fill out paperwork and serve clients, but if you can't get clients to agree to use your services, you won't have any money, and that's not good for your future in real estate. Because this topic is so important, we'll dig into these details a little deeper. If you decide to go the buyer's agent route, you'll get buyer leads, names and contact information of real people who allegedly want to buy a home. That's great, but that's half the battle. Next, you'll need to know how to convert those leads into clients. The team leaders or brokerages who give you those leads invested a lot of money to get those leads for you. They either bought them from lead sellers like Zillow or Realtor.com or advertised for them on the radio or social media. As a result, as a buyer's agent, you'll get great training for how to convert buyer leads into clients. That's the whole point. The first part of that is to call the lead immediately because they'll often go with whoever calls them first. Then you try to get them to schedule a showing with you so you can meet them in person and bond with them. The other key part of lead conversion is to stay in touch with all the lukewarm buyers who weren't ready yet, because one day they will be. If you can convert 1 out of 30 purchase leads into a closing, that's actually really good, because according to industry records, last year there were 50 million leads sold to agents, but there are only 5 million closings. And 75% of the clients in those closings actually used a referred agent. In other words, 40 leads were sold for every 1 home that was sold, which means that the leads you receive were also given to an average of 40 other agents. So now you know why it's so important to call them quickly. Now, sometimes you can find a team leader or brokerage that actually has really high quality leads. Maybe they have a deal with a corporate relocation company like Grable. Maybe they have more referred clients than they can handle. Or maybe an agent like my good friend Ellen Pitts has an amazing YouTube channel that brings in buyer leads. In those cases, you might close a much higher percentage of the leads, like 1 in 5 or even 1 in 3. However, in those cases of really good leads, be prepared for the team leader to keep a higher percentage of the commission, like 70%, because what they're giving you is so much more valuable than a normal buyer lead. Traditional franchise brokerages either offer very little training in how to get clients, or they offer surface level training on a smorgasbord of many different approaches. This will include farming, calling for sale by owners and expireds, search engine optimization for your website, pay-per-click advertising, cold calling, direct mail, etc. There's normally no data presented about which of these many methods is most efficient in terms of your money and time in versus your take-home income out. I've put a link in the description below to break that down for you. Hopefully that will help you. Whichever lead generation method you choose, be prepared that to be successful, you'll need to go deep into the techniques and dialogues specific to that approach. And you'll need to invest a lot of time and trial and error to become good enough to actually get enough leads to live on. Don't spread yourself too thin. Pick 1 or 2 methods at most and invest the time and effort to master it, or you won't get the results you need. One final thought about lead generation at traditional brokerages. The big name national companies like Century 21 and RE/MAX talk a lot about brand name recognition, and it's true, their names are highly recognizable. However, brand recognition does not equal brand preference. Think about Enron. Very well known, but not preferred. And since, for example, there's no consistency in how various RE/MAX agents deliver their service, there's no defined RE/MAX brand experience for consumers to prefer. As a consequence, most experienced agents will tell you that clients choose an agent, not a brand name. The conclusion is do not count on brand name to help you get clients. The Relevate business system approach focuses on one type of lead generation, doing business by referral. The advantage of Relevate here is that the training goes very deep into every technique needed for success using this lead generation method. Relevate has its own custom CRM software that organizes you and reminds you what to do next. And once you master this approach, you can expect to close 2 out of every 3 leads. The challenge at Relevate is that you need to be comfortable doing business with friends, and you have to enjoy getting out and talking to and seeing people in person, and you need to build your own sphere of influence. Relevate will teach you how to do that, but like every other lead generation method, it takes time and work to become successful with it. Also, Relevate does not offer any training or support in any other lead generation methods. That doesn't mean you can't do them, you just won't get help from Relevate to do so. Hey, I hope you're finding the content of this video valuable so far. If you are, please click like below and subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified whenever we publish new content like this. An important factor for most agents is the cultural environment of a brokerage. As a buyer's agent, you're on a team. A good team leader will foster healthy and motivating competition. Sometimes, however, it can feel like a little too much competition. For example, if the same lead is sent to multiple team members at the same time and everyone is glued to their phones to make sure they claim it first. In addition, some team leaders give more and better leads to the agents who have the best history of converting those leads into commission checks. That's an understandable policy, but it can create hard feelings among the team. In a traditional brokerage, management does their best to foster camaraderie among the agents and a sense of community, and many do a remarkably good job. But that can be a difficult task for them for 2 reasons. First, in a traditional brokerage, each agent uses a different database management system, not connected in any way to other agents' databases. Therefore, there can be a lot of overlap between client bases. As a result, in some cases, 2 or 3 agents from the same office end up competing for the same client. This competition makes agents less likely to share ideas and information with each other, and can even result in hard feelings and some unhealthy types of competition. In the Relevate business model, everyone uses the same connected database management system, and any overlaps are flagged the second an agent adds a new person to their sphere of influence, far in advance of any referrals and resulting transactions. Because overlaps are discovered immediately before any potential commission money is involved, they're almost always resolved amicably, like, hey, you take this person, I'll take the next. As a result, the possibility of competition for the same clients is avoided, and agents feel good about sharing ideas and helping each other. The cultural challenge at Relevate is that many of the most productive agents are just not around the office very much. The Relevate marketing and client service support frees them up to do other things besides work all the time, and they're out doing those other things. For the sake of our newer agents, we do wish more of our top producers were here more. The next criteria by which we're evaluating different places to start your real estate business is marketing support. This isn't about teaching you how to market to prospective clients. This is helping you actually do it consistently and with high quality. If you start as a buyer's agent, some team leaders will invest in a service to call and confirm the leads to make sure they're real and high quality before they get to you, which can save you a ton of time. And maybe even more importantly, some team leaders will also help you keep in touch with those someday maybe buyers by doing a quarterly or even monthly email or mailing. Be grateful for those team leaders because they'll definitely help you sell more houses. As an individual agent at a traditional brokerage, in general, it's up to you to think of and plan your marketing ideas and handle the execution of them. Some managers may offer you some free hours of help from the office assistant, which is great. Unfortunately, most agents are either too busy with client work to focus on marketing or don't have enough money coming in to afford the marketing, so it just doesn't happen consistently and the business suffers. In the Relevate business system model, the marketing department plans marketing campaigns each year in advance for the next 12 months. They are designed, printed, and ready to go for agents who can then choose to participate in that month's campaign or not. The cost is low because of economies of scale. That means all the agents are doing the campaign at the same time, and so they share the fixed costs. The agents are fine with doing it at the same time because their spheres of influence do not overlap. So agents get consistent marketing for a low price without any work required on their part. That obviously brings them more clients. The two disadvantages are, first, although it's voluntary which monthly campaigns to participate in, agents do pay for all the campaigns in which they participate. And second, if an agent wants to do their own unique campaign, the marketing department certainly will help them with that, but that campaign will cost that agent relatively more than the pre-planned monthly campaigns because the fixed cost won't be shared by all the other agents, because that agent is the only one doing that one unique campaign. The client service support provided by each potential place where you could start your real estate business is the fifth important business factor to consider. This factor is important because the client service support allows you to focus more on gaining new clients instead of being too busy delivering the service yourself. If you decide to start as a buyer's agent, your team leader will probably provide a trained transaction coordinator to handle contract to close to free you up to spend more time converting leads, showing homes, and writing contracts. Depending on how much of the commission your team leader keeps, you may have to pay for this, or the team leader may pay for the transaction coordinators. Either way, this is a win for everyone. The big value in a team is created when leads are converted. That's the hard part that takes the most skill, and if you're good at it, it's in everyone's interest, especially yours, to spend as much time on that as possible. Some traditional brokerages also have trained transaction coordinators on staff ready to help you, and again, depending on your deal with the brokerage, either you or they will pay for it. The advantage of this, of course, is that you can spend more time doing the activity that creates the most value for you and your brokerage: lead generation and conversion. It's totally worth it if, while the transaction coordinator is doing the contract to close tasks, you're out there getting more clients. This is just smart. You won't grow past a certain point without this kind of help. However, at a traditional brokerage, when you get even busier, you'll need to hire, train, and manage your own transaction coordinators. And when you get even busier, you'll need to become a team leader yourself and hire buyer's agents and invest in providing leads for them, because you won't be able to handle all the client work yourself. This all seems to make sense, and it works for some agents, but the disadvantage is that an agent who is great at lead generation has now become a manager and a lead buyer, and because of the time and expense and also the need to pay buyer's agents 50% plus of the total commission to keep them, you end up working 60 hours plus a week and not actually taking home a lot of money. Relevate provides an advanced version of a transaction coordinator called a client service manager, or CSM. These are fully licensed agents that are trained to take everything off the plate of busy agents other than lead generation, lead conversion, and contract negotiation. However, the agent does not hand off the client to the CSM. They both continue to work with the client together, very similar to a doctor and a nurse, each doing their role as a well-oiled team. As a result, the agent can focus on getting more clients and also have a balanced life. The client feels they get two agents for the price of one, which is never a bad thing. The challenge of this part of the Relevate model is that although you can use as much or as little CSM support as you wish, you do have to pay for this help. Also, you have to learn to be a good teammate with the CSM and learn to trust someone other than yourself to take good care of your clients. Relevate provides plenty of training for agents to achieve this, but that's still a challenge for most agents while they're learning. Okay, we've looked at each potential way to start up your real estate business. Let's look at how fast and how big you can grow your business and your income in each situation. Being a buyer's agent is the fastest way to start working with actual buyers, and so also theoretically the fastest way to start earning income, assuming you're good at converting those buyer leads. So that's the advantage. The disadvantages are, first, the clients don't belong to you in most cases, so you aren't able to build a client base to take with you when you want to go out on your own. Second, you won't learn to work with sellers, and listings are kind of important in real estate. And third, at least 2/3 of those who start as buyer's agents seem to get addicted to the leads being given to them and to the hustle of chasing them. And these agents can't escape this because they aren't willing to step out as an individual agent and learn how to generate their own leads for themselves. So they get stuck only earning 50% of the commission or less for the rest of their careers. Even worse, since they can only delegate contract to close, they work tons of hours. At a traditional brokerage, you can grow as fast as you can get great at one or maybe two lead generation and conversion methods. Once you do get going though, you'll soon hit a ceiling of how much you can do all by yourself, and that's when you'll need to learn to be a manager so you can effectively hire, train, and lead a team of transaction coordinators and buyer's agents. The advantage of this is that you'll close a lot of volume and other agents will admire your success. However, as we discussed earlier, the disadvantage is that this team structure requires a lot of working hours from you as a team leader, and the expenses are very high. Sometimes team leaders are even in danger of losing money in spite of all the work they put in if the revenue from the team does not cover the expense of buying the leads. I'll give you a pro tip that'll only cost you a like and subscribe. Okay, here it is. If you're investigating working with a traditional brokerage, I suggest asking them this question. Let's say I want to be a top producing agent selling 10 million or more annually, but I don't want to work 60 hours a week or become a team manager. Do you have any way to support me or help me so that neither of those things will happen to me when I get to 10 million? Please let me know what they say. I'd love to hear it because I don't think traditional brokerages offer a good solution for that. When it comes to how fast and how big you can grow in the Relevate model, the biggest advantage and the biggest challenge is actually the same, and it's this. Relevate only accepts agents who have the ability and determination to grow their business to 10 million plus in regular annual volume. If you have both the ability and the determination, we have the system that can help you get there from zero within 2 years. Now, not everyone gets there in 2 years, so our standards are 2 million the first year, 5 million in the second year, and 10 million the third year. Now again, we do have some agents that get to the 5 million mark and then not quite to the 10 million mark in the third year. And as long as they're working hard and as smart as they can, we'll continue to support them toward the $10 million goal. Okay, so right now, as you think about what I just explained, you're either excited and pumped up and want to be in that situation with those growth expectations, or you're thinking, can I really do that? Or more likely, do I even want to do that? Now, if part of your thinking is, hey, Mike, I don't want to have to work tons of hours for the rest of my life just to sell homes and make money. If that's what it takes, I don't want it. Well, that's why we have the marketing and client service support to free you up so you can have a great business and a great life. Think about it. Most business owners, when their business gets successful, they work less, not more. That's how it should be in real estate too, right? And that's what the Relevate business system is set up to do. But in the beginning, you do need to be willing to work hard at working smart, and we'll teach you if you want to learn. What are you thinking about the information I'm sharing with you in this video? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Add your comments and I'll reply as soon as possible. As a new agent or an agent looking to restart your real estate business, you can either be a buyer's agent, join a traditional brokerage, or join the Relevate business system. Your choice comes down to what you want to accomplish in your real estate business and how you want to do it. How much money do you want to earn and how important is that to you? How important is work-life balance for you and your family? How important is it to do things your way as opposed to learning a proven system? The fastest way to get started and get a paycheck is by being a buyer's agent, but you won't learn how to generate leads or work with sellers, and you won't be building your own business. Making the leap from being a buyer's agent to having your own real estate sales business can be tough, but it's definitely doable for a hardworking, smart person like you. Joining a big, established brand name traditional brokerage is still by far the most popular choice. You'll have complete freedom to invent your own business systems for finding and serving clients. That can start out exciting, but it can get frustrating if you don't get traction soon. When you do get traction, you can find yourself in a situation where you're working more than you want to or having to become a manager and build a team. The working by referral focus, the production standards, and teamwork approach of the Relevate system can be exciting if it's exactly what you want. If it isn't the right fit for you, it would definitely be best to jump into being a buyer's agent or joining a traditional brokerage. Relevate isn't for everyone, but if you'd like to learn more, I've included links in the description below to several other videos and articles that might be helpful for you. Or you can click the link below to set up a time to visit with us in person.